I returned to Moab. I was staying with friends, a married couple. I had exchanged a few emails with Suelo, but we had failed to make a foolproof plan. Of course he has no phone. And apart from any question of cave etiquette, was it okay to just drop by? I didn't know where to locate him in the vast wilderness. I sent an email and then sat back and hoped that he wandered out of the canyon soon and logged in at the library. A day passed. It was fall, and the air was sunny and cool and crisp. I sat on my friend's porch, sipping a glass of fresh watermelon juice. One of my hosts, her name was Melanie, M-E-L-O-N-Y. I swear that's her real name. She considered watermelon a wonder food filled with antioxidants and electrolytes and vitamins. She swore it had cured her of a 5-year illness that no doctor, medication, or allergy panels could solve. And she drank the red potion 3 times a day, stuffing rinds, seeds, and everything into a blender. But with the harvest over and both markets in town sold out, she was running low. With winter approaching, she was contemplating doing something desperate, like ordering them on the internet. Another day passed, and still no word from Suelo. That's the guy, his name is Suelo. And then as I sat on the porch checking my watch, an apparition appeared. A bicycle was approaching, dark mount, dark rider. Horn-rimmed glasses emerged between gray hair and beard. The rider wore a black felt bolero cinched under his chin with a stampede strap held snug by a tin brooch. His gaze was forward, serene. Although his legs were clearly pumping, his body gave the impression of utter calm. As he pedaled toward me, I made out the plastic crate of apples and oranges lashed to a rear rack. I would not have been surprised if he had let go of the handlebars, plucked the fruit from the basket, and began to juggle. I rushed into the street and called, "Daniel!" He slowed to a halt, then turned the bike around and looked at me, puzzled, until I identified myself. "Oh, it's you," he said. For a dude who lives in a cave, Suelo displayed a positively keen sense of style. His trousers were a few inches too long, cuffed with rolls above boxy workman shoes, a plaid flannel over a tight black t-shirt revealed a slice of trim belly above a leather belt. He looked like a cross between a Great Depression hobo and a vagabond French painter. Buster Keaton meets Paul Gauguin. Unsure what to do next, I threw my arms around him in a clumsy hug. He smelled like wood smoke. I invited him inside and introduced him to Melanie and her husband, Matthew. Melanie poured tall glasses of watermelon juice, the last of her cash, she told us. Suelo perked up. Above his right eye is a scar that causes the brow to rise up in a sharp peak, giving him a perpetual appearance of intense curiosity. "Do you know about the melon patch?" he said. We didn't. "The field between the creeks," he said, nodding toward the street. "There's hundreds of melons over there. Watermelon, Crenshaws, squash, and pumpkins, too. I've been eating them for months." "Whose are they?" I said. "Some guy," he shrugged. And then he said, "After Obama was elected, this guy thought the whole system would collapse, so he planted the fallow fields. But the end times didn't come, so he left everything to rot." Matthew, Melanie, and I followed Suelo out of the house and into the street. He pushed his bike along the paved road until it turned to dirt, leading us to a field nestled between 2 creeks, a green swath of desert farmland that had survived from pioneer days. Someone had planted all kinds of trees and vines that grew out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food, peach trees, pear trees, apple trees. Only the serpent and the naked lady were missing. And there were hundreds of melons, a cornucopia, some tucked green into the rows of thistle and tumbleweed, others already yellow mush swelling in the sun. Suelo cradled a sound one like a baby, and he thwapped it with his thumb. "If the thud is too deep, it's overripe," he said. We wandered the rows tapping and listening. Does anyone have a knife? Melanie asked. Suelo had left his on the bike, but no matter. He picked up a melon the size of a pony keg. He raised it overhead and he heaved it down, and it burst at his feet with a whump. He knelt beside it, scooped up the flesh, and lapped it from his palms. And then, verily, he fed our multitude. Wordlessly, Matthew and Melanie, good job laughing, by the way. Wordlessly, Matthew and Melanie shoveled watermelon into their mouths as the syrup dripped toward their elbows. I buried my face until my nose bumped against rind. We busted melons open, one after another, some putrid, others green, some delectable. It was cool and dry and sunny, and the sandy soil was wet after the first big rain of October. The field was ringed by cottonwoods exploding in yellow, like a million kernels of popcorn. Beyond the trees, the red cliffs bore down, and above them, the snowy peaks thrust through a ring of clouds into the blue sky. We all ate and were satisfied. The number of those who ate was 4. I don't remember the leaves being this yellow, Suelo said, drying his wrists on his pants. Too bad all the squash are rotten. Looking across the fields, we could see that Matthew and Melanie's house stood just 100 yards away, a literal stone's throw from this Eden. It seemed truly mystical how unfindable, moneyless Suelo had materialized from the ether and led us across the desert to Melontopia, to the abundance. Matthew and Melanie and I filled our arms with melons, hoarding them like eye gadgets we'd liberated from Best Buy after a hurricane. But Suelo chose only one single small green fruit. He lowered it into his crate and silently pedaled off. Thanks.